So without further ado, I'd like to get started with our very first presentation with Brandcast. And I've got Matt Kincaid, their Director of Sales. So Matt, feel free to start sharing your screen while I kind of go through a little intro. So Matt started his career with LoopNet and eventually the CoStar Group, helping customers with national advertising campaigns for premier properties, short sales, auction properties, and other key projects. Currently, he runs sales for Brandcast, the website cloud for enterprise empowering brokers to upgrade their digital marketing capabilities. You can check out the Brandcast blog for ebooks, posts, and videos and more from Matt, sharing his learnings from nearly a decade of marketing solutions for commercial real estate. So Matt, take it away. Thank you.
Thanks, Bethany. And if you could actually turn over the screen share, that way I can grab it. I apologize there. If you just hit the stop button. Perfect. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the chance to speak with you here today. Let's go ahead and get started. Over the next few minutes, I'll just run through a couple background slides on what we're discussing here today, and then immediately get into a demo of the Brandcast product. With that, I'll be sharing a lot of tips and tricks overall in regards to overall how to upgrade your real estate marketing for any different purpose. So really, why are we talking about this here today? Well, the world of commercial real estate is changing, and the power and need to be able to embrace different technology advancements is only starting to climb more and more. And you've seen this in a lot of different areas with the way that you leverage different technology for the projects that you're doing, whether physical on site or the different type of analytics and other things that you use. Now, the only thing that really hasn't made its way into the world of really kind of digital here is the marketing side of the house and the way that we choose to market the different projects we do, the teams we work with, the office that we work within, and really overall, the marketing tools that we do use today are typically just kind of a mixture of, the different tools that we use that we don't necessarily own, or they're a mixture of kind of online and offline things. It's very hard to take control of the branding and the overall messaging for what we actually do. And that becomes tougher and tougher these days because, as you all know, you're being tasked to build websites for anything and everything that has to do with the way that investors, and tenants, and those type of things are engaging with the different projects that you're actually working on or with your brokerage overall. So what's kind of the trouble with that? If you're looking to build more websites for every business purpose and you need to build them at kind of a higher scale and sophistication than ever before, what are some of the barriers we're going to run across? Well, number one, it's going to be very expensive. You're typically hiring agencies and third parties in order to produce these projects. It's very time consuming, especially those in major markets. You need to get up and running quickly to market the property because it'll be turning around and there'll be expectations that those materials are ready. And overall, you don't typically staff the type of people that are ready to build websites by the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, and be able to even put all the different marketing technologies that you use behind those. So that's really what Brandcast is all about. We're here to help you accelerate digital transformation and really revolutionize the way that you build different digital experiences for every stage of your real estate marketing. Really what we're going to be getting into in just a moment is talking about how your different marketing ops teams, especially designers and those type of things that you already have in-house today, can come in and collaborate on a single cloud-based platform to build all these websites in very high volume and sophistication. And again, at the end of the day, what you're doing is finding a way to build a website for pretty much anything and everything that you've ever wanted to or are tasked to do on behalf of clients and kind of internal initiatives. Now, in regards to just a few people that are doing this today, one that you may know in the Southwest especially is going to be Berkadia. They have, out of 2 offices, they have a team of about 100 plus users that are producing custom websites on a daily basis for all brokers and agents in the offices across the US. Similarly to that, we're leveraged globally by Colliers International. If there are any Colliers people on the line here, please contact either your HQ or just your main office. You already have access to the platform and can be doing everything that I'm about to show you today to build property websites, industry reports, and anything else that you wanted to do in digital at scale. Now, if you find what we're about to demo very interesting, please reach out and find us at brandcast.com/CREtech, or of course through the links that Bethany is going to provide. And you can get access to the template I'll be building on the call here today, or just hundreds of other templates we have so that you can upgrade your real estate marketing immediately. And with that, we're going to get out of slides because of course this is demo day. So we're going to be getting into a demo primarily. And with the demo, I want to tee up a little bit of a common situation we come across when it comes to embracing and going digital with all of our digital marketing. And in this case, in the scenario we're going to be running, this is going to be a single property website where we just got maybe the new project or listing. And we've been requested as maybe a designer or a marketing coordinator to produce a custom website for the project. But there's a couple issues with it. Number one, we don't have a lot of content. Maybe the broker has provided us basically just a big picture of the outside of the building and maybe an iPhone photo of the inside that's kind of an awkward setup as to where it's placed and those type of things. With that, maybe we got some notes on the property as well, delivered to us as a Word document, where we basically just have some basic information about the property, the availability, and that's about it. So one of the difficult things in marketing is to really do it, is to tell a story with the different things that we do. So I'm going to show you over the next about 15, 17 minutes here, how you can build a custom website that is mobile ready completely from scratch using the information here. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks as to how you can upgrade the content that you're using when you have a very limited setup like we have here. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead and cut that down and step into Brandcast. So there's a few areas of the Brandcast product. The primary one that we're going to be reviewing today is going to be the Design Studio, where you can take any designer that you have in-house today and turn them into a full-on custom website developer. Now, in order to get this property going, there's a few things we want to set up. The first thing we want to do is create some type of branding identity for the property. So in here, we can load up different fonts, colors, or anything like that. So we can either produce the property on our own corporate branding, or we can create a branding identity for the property itself, which is a common thing that's requested from clients, brokers, and the lot. So here, we're going to try to create a branding identity for the property itself using just the images that we have there. And basically, we can load up all of those different styles and put them into the site, just like we would do this for a PDF to create the fonts, the colors, everything that we need. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab all of the assets and media that we need for the website, and we're going to upload them into this media library. And again, we were just given a few things for the property. One big kind of outside image, an iPhone shot of the inside, and then there's going to be a development opportunity here. So just like a kind of rough sketch of the overall land opportunity that we have. And this is really common, right? That we want to build a custom website, but we don't have a lot of content. So let's get started building, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how you can actually find some content out on the web in order to make a really beautiful website. So we're going to build a single page website. When you don't have a lot of content, the best thing you can do is build a mobile ready single page scroller. And if I wanted to build a multi-page website, I could come in here and start to lay out all the pages of the site and how they fit together. But as I mentioned, when we don't have a lot of content and we need to get the site out quickly, best thing to do is build a single page website. So we're going to go ahead and double click and launch our home page. And here you can see we have a blank canvas. As I mentioned, we have hundreds of templates that you can use for different things. And of course, if you're interested in the product, we can get you into that. But to show the real power of the platform here, I want to actually do this completely from scratch. So essentially what you're seeing here is going to be a drag and drop design studio where any designer becomes a website designer. The first thing they do is basically come in here and build the page structurally using the different design components that you see me leveraging up on the page here. And with this, they basically take complete control of the code that usually drives a website, which is going to be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And they basically come through here and they don't have to actually understand these things, but they're building perfectly ready to go websites as they actually do. So I've come through here and kind of built what I want as a first section. And now what I'm going to do is just kind of drag and drop that image into the background and start to bring this website to life. And because we're going to overlay some stuff, maybe what I'll do is darken the image just a little bit here. There we are. Very good. Now, when you're trying to create an identity for the property, one of the first things to do is try to create a color palette. So I recommend you download things like these little Chrome extensions here, where basically what you can do is come in here and you can sample colors on the page. So here I've sampled this kind of brown Adobe color that's been in here, and that's what I'm going to use as the main color throughout the side. Take the building as inspiration and try to come up with some type of identity for the property itself. So here we're just going to punch that color in, add it to the palette, and we're going to use it a few different places throughout the site here. So I'm going to save that and reuse it. Now the next thing that's helpful is to create some type of logo for the property. If you have a designer in-house, they can build plenty of logos for you, anything that you need. If you just want to make a quick one of my interesting tips is to just grab a PNG generator. And what these things will do is allow you to just basically put in the name of the property, and then you can choose a different interesting look for it, and then you can just kind of create a logo. So for this one, I went ahead and actually created a logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take that logo that's put in here, drag and drop it. There we are. And we kind of now have a name for the property that was provided by the broker, but also a little bit of an actual identity. And now with this in here, what we can actually start to do is start to fill it out with the information that we were provided. So here we have kind of what the opportunity is. So we'll copy and paste this. And once the text goes in there, we can basically start to stylize it with everything that we need. So we'll go ahead and center that and turn it white. And just like that, we're kind of moving on to the next area of our website and telling the story of this property. Now, as we go through here, it's not just about going to be designing for desktop, but also making sure that we design for mobile and make sure that looks great as well. So here, what we can do is basically start to get all the different text blocks in the page and make sure those look really good too. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to have to start creating some more interesting ways to actually present some of this information. So another great trick I have for you is start to create a series of icons to tell the story. My favorite ones that I use are either going to be found on the nounprojects.com or flaticon.com. And basically you can download a bunch of little icons and these type of things that'll help you tell the story of the property and announce your different sections. And again, because we have kind of a color palette for the property, what we're going to be able to do is just create a different series of icons that we can put in here. So here, once again, I've just downloaded these for the different project that we have. And we're just going to take these icons and put them in the media library and get them ready for use. Those will take just a moment to upload. And as they do, what we'll do is we'll come in through here and start to tell a little bit more information about the property itself. And we'll get that Word document back up. And we'll maybe introduce this page with the location of the property. And again, we'll just kind of stylize it. Now, you'll see me coming through here and stylizing this information using the original setup that was done at the beginning of the call and that different global styles panel so that it's very easy to apply the different brand and style guidelines that you actually create for this page. Now within the media library there, what we'll do is we'll just kind of introduce the building with this little icon here that will pop in there, pull it down a little bit, and we basically are all set to go. Now from there, we're gonna wanna start introducing some text to the page. And with the text of the page, maybe what we're gonna do is break the text up into a couple different lines to give it a really nice modern look and feel that we have here. And within this, we'll take one block of text and put it on the left and another on the right. We'll come back to that Word document and we'll just copy the single block of text that we have and immediately go off to the next. Very good. Just like that, we've completed another section of the site. Now, For time, I'm not going to come through here and necessarily build every single piece of this, but I do want to show you some different areas that I would go to find a little bit more information to add some life to this site. The first thing I would do as I duplicate this down is I would create a little bit something more about the location of the site, okay? So the location of the site, a helpful thing to do when it comes to doing the location is go to the local resources. So here we have Doral Court is of course going to be in Doral, Florida. So it's very easy to run a search in Google and go to Doral, Florida, and go to their main site in regards to the city. Any of the information found here in regards to different places to work, different places to live, different things that you might have here, you can grab the information that's found on this page, and more often than not, a lot of the things like the videos and other information is going to be all public domain. So if we're doing a commercial project for retail space, you know, it would be an interesting video to use here, how to start a business in Doral and these type of things. And everything that you found here from the blocks of text and everything like that are going to be very, very helpful. The other thing that I would do is try to find some interesting things in Doral, Florida, right? Doral, Florida, things to do. And there's going to be call outs to golf courses, to shopping malls, to these type of things that you can find all these things in here, and you can add these to your website very quickly and very easily. So as we come through here, we could imagine that we would basically just systematically copy and paste each of these sections. We do one for location. We could do interesting things like maps and videos and these type of things. And then when we're set and actually building them, be able to come through here and start to add a little bit more information, add some animations, and start to actually perfect this for mobile. So here, maybe when we do our location, I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what we did a moment ago. Let's go ahead and add a video from the main site on Doral there. And I've pulled this information from the site already. There we are. So we'll just go ahead and take that YouTube video that they had there, and we'll punch it in. There we go. And that has a pretty nice photo on it already. If we wanted to, we could add a photo over it, no big deal. Now, another thing we could add in regards to the location would maybe be like a nice interactive map for them. So that's another way that you can add some interesting and helpful information to your property website, is to come through here and just run a quick Google search for your location and copy and paste the way that it works. So here you can see that I've basically pulled up the location itself on just a normal Google search, and there's a lot of ways you can do this. And when you come through here and hit share, they're going to give you the opportunity to embed that map, and you can just kind of copy what was put in here and immediately go into your Brandcast website and copy and paste what was provided for you. And you'll have an interactive map on the page just like that, very quickly and very easily. Now, some other things that you can do, let's kind of continue through here. So we're going to copy and paste our headline once again, move down here. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to tell a little bit of information maybe about the local area. So some nearby amenities or something like that. And for this one, what I'm going to be doing is not necessarily building this from scratch, but building it using some kind of reusable blocks here. So when you build things in Brandcast, even though we're building completely from scratch here, what you actually have the ability to do is save anything you're doing. You can save entire websites as templates. You can save individual pages as templates, but we can also do is save these individual blocks as templates, as we see here. So anything that we build, we can basically reuse. And there are snippets specific to this template that I could build, and there are ones that are specific, basically just to the general audience. So here, what I'm going to do is just add kind of a 3-column grid that we have here. And what we'll do is just kind of add information about some different places we can actually call out here. Oops. Bring that back. Sorry about that. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do kind of the standard live, work, play motif, which is very common these days. We'll do live, work, and play. And again, just a simple Google search, pull some images from the web, anything that you can do to kind of get those on here. And I've pulled a few of those already. So we can kind of grab some information on the local malls, those type of things, put those into that media library, and basically just kind of drag and drop those. So of course, I'm not going to match those up completely, but you can kind of call out these different places that you have here. And once you do, just come through here and link them externally to wherever you want them to go. And you can kind of continue through this. The last thing that we would want as we clear here would be, of course, the availability and the contact information. So with the availability, recall from before, we basically just had the single image that was taken on an iPhone of the property. And then basically we want to take our kind of block of text for the availability as we need it. There we are. So we'll take that media library, that single iPhone shot that we had. We'll go back to our Word document, and we will go ahead and copy and paste the availability for the building. There we are. Now with that last piece in there, we can go ahead and stylize that as we see fit, or whatever we want to do as soon as it goes in there. Get all the information in there. And basically, before we get this out the door, there's two things that we need to do. The first is going to be to make sure that it looks great on mobile. So essentially what we'll do is come through here and kind of systematically look on each of these mobile devices. Are we getting the look we're going for? And really that's going to come down to a lot of how the way the images and these type of things break down on mobile devices. So maybe once we get to this kind of tablet, iPad view, what we want to do is kind of stack this text so that it fits kind of on top of each other, maybe pull it in a little bit tighter. And we'll do kind of the same thing down below in some of these other areas. Like this one here, we can choose to kind of stack or split the grid however we want with the live, work, play. Kind of stack this grid as well, whatever we want to do. And then we can kind of check it on mobile as well. There we are. And everything that we have here looks great. It's looking really nice for the site. So just a couple more things to do to get this published and out to the web. So it's one thing to create a beautiful website. It's quite another to make sure that it's found in search results, that it really loads quickly in these type of things. So Brandcast takes care of all of that for you as well. So what we're going to do is kind of step up here into our different website settings and be able to control everything that we need. So the first thing we want to do is get some type of URL in here, right? So we can either do a URL specific to the property. You can go to like GoDaddy or Namecheap or any of those that sell URLs, and you can buy something for Doral Court. Or you can set up something for your business. So if your brokerage name has a URL, you can set it up so every property goes on the brokerage URL and these type of things. And what you want to do is write up your description. This website was built for CREtech Day, right? And basically this description here is what's going to pull up in Google search results, and it's going to be that byline that's shown when people search for the property. We're going to do things like control the social image. So what image and what description is shared when people actually send this out on the web. And then if you want to start running analytics as to who's coming to this page and everything they're doing, you can get any and all types of analytics in there and get it all set up. For us here, we're just going to be running a really simple Google Analytics deployment that'll allow you to get it in there. So because we're only a half-hour demo, of course, I didn't build you a perfectly polished and ready-to-go website. However, the truth of the matter is I could probably do that in an hour demo for you. And in fact, we have done that in the past. But you get the idea that you can come in here, build a website from scratch, anything you want to do. Of course, we have libraries of templates, so you can use those as well. You can create any type of branding, any type of website. And when you're done and ready to go, you can publish that out to the web. And it's going to be live on Brandcast infrastructure. We also have ways that if your brokerage has requirements for how websites are hosted and stuff like that, we can actually help you host in your own environment, all that type of stuff. But as you can see, this website is actually up and running just on a temporary Brandcast subdomain because I didn't buy one. We've got kind of all the information here. Videos are ready to go. Interactive map is ready to be used. We got interesting information and everything that we need. And more importantly, this is all completely mobile responsive. So the website's going to look great on everything we do. So just so you can take a look at what this would actually look like had I gone through and polished it a little bit more. This was actually a real situation that one of our Collier's offices came across, was how do I build a website when I essentially have no content? So this was a real life example, and this is what they actually came up with. And you can see a little bit more from a branding perspective. They pulled out the images. Here they even pulled out the logo from the local municipality there. They've got that interactive map in there, just like I pulled from Google. They pulled some blocks of text from the same site talking about the city, its growth, and these type of things. They've got a video in there, everything that they need, kind of these interesting ways to find more information about the local area, the availability that you see, more information about the opportunity. They even put some flyers in there. And then, of course, at the end of the day, being able to get a contact form in there so you can inquire about the property. So that's it for us. If there are some questions, we can hop into those and try to get to them. We have a couple different questions here, and let me go ahead and get those answered. So the first question was, is this a real estate only platform? No, Brandcast is actually a platform leveraged by a number of different industries. We are a solution based out of San Francisco, and for those familiar, we are the private investment of Mark Benioff, who's the CEO and founder of Salesforce, and really his big bet on where the world of website creation is actually going. So that's a little bit of background of us. We've been in market for about 5 years, and we're leveraged across hotels, hospitality, healthcare, everything like that. Are you at the NAR conference? Yes, we are. We'll be there. There'll be a few of our different representatives. We'll be sure to send out some information on our booth and everything like that. You can also get access to a much better demo than what I did here, and everything that you need. Let's see. A couple other different questions we have, just is this recorded? And then I have just one last question on the branding thing. Yeah, so in regards to branding, I'll review real quickly. There was just a quick question on that. Within this global styles panel here, what you can do is access not just these Google fonts, but you can load up fonts from other places. So most of the designers in your office that are building you PDFs and these type of things, they're using mostly the Adobe Creative Suite, which provides a huge foundry of fonts and these type of things. So they can just take the fonts that they like using, and they provide a little snippet of code. You copy and paste it in there, and then it loads up into the site there. Other things in branding is just going to be the colors and everything like that. All right, Bethany, we're right at the end of our time. Thank you so much, everybody, for the time here. And remember, if you want to build some websites very quickly, beautifully, you want access to a great library of templates and these type of things, please come find us. We'd love the opportunity to speak with you.